Page 93, Prelude. This is a duet. On page 92, you have the other part of the duet. That's for the teacher or somebody who can play those notes, that part. But we're going to concentrate on page 93 for this. Now at the top of the page, they're talking about incomplete measures. Now I'm guessing you already know about incomplete measures, but just for completeness' sake, I'm going to talk about incomplete measures. In music, in theory, according to the time signature, every measure should have a certain number of counts in it. I didn't make up the rules. Some idiot a long time ago did. I don't know. In common time, four time, there should be 4 counts in every measure. Well, in a piece of music, we don't always want to start on beat 1. We want to start on some other beat because we're rebels or something. In this piece, we're starting on beat 4. There's only 1 beat in that measure. Well, in order for that to be complete then, the other 3 beats should be someplace, and they're usually at the end of the section or end of the piece or something. This is in 2 sections, this duet. The first 2 lines is a section. We haven't really talked about sections. Maybe someday they'll get around to it, I don't know. But the first 2 lines is a section, and the second 2 lines is a section. It's like chapters in a book. We got sections in a piece. Well, if you look at the end of the first section, you see 3 counts in that measure. So altogether, there's 4 counts in this. It works out. And then the third line down, you get another pickup measure, incomplete measure. We call them pickup measures or pickup beats or anacrusis, all kinds of wonderful things. You can look them up. But the point is, at the bottom of the second section, there's another measure with just 3 counts in it. So overall, it comes out to 4 counts in every measure. I'll explain a little later about pickup measures. So I'll go through the process here, and in this one, it looks like both hands are playing the same note names. And then there's no sharps or flats in the key signatures. This is either in the key of C major or A minor. If we look at the end, the very bottom down there, they're A's, whatever, wherever they are. We're probably in A minor. Just white keys. Although we could have some G sharps because G is the 7th step, so they might do, but we're not using any G's in this thing, so there aren't any. So the notes are written here, here, here for bass clef. So you're in here, but if you look at the notes above the staff, the right hand plays 1 hand higher than written. So instead of here, you go up here. And there's a note under it that says left hand plays 2 octaves higher than written. So instead of here, we go up 2 octaves. 1, 2. So actually you're up here, which makes sense because these other notes are in here. You could do this on 1 keyboard, or you do it on 2 separate keyboards, but the point is it sounds better when you're not playing the same notes. And so you're up here. And you can move over and sit in front of that too. Right there. I'm not going to, I'm just going to twist because I'm lazy, I don't want to move. I'm here. So it's 4, 1, 4, 1. And again, I connect everything at first. I just make sure I got the notes, and they're all quarter notes, not hard. And then in measure 9, you're here. So I go through and I play the whole thing. You don't have to go as fast as I'm going. You go your speed. Just make sure you can play all the notes. The rhythm shouldn't be a problem, and you can play this without looking at the keyboard. No hesitations. And then I add the articulation, and here we have phrasing. So I lift up between the phrasing. And I might mention here that this happens a whole lot in music. That's why I'm going to mention it. Each phrase here seems to start with a pickup beat. So it's 4, 1, 4, 4. That's very common, especially with Bach. A lot of his phrases start with pickup beats, and it'll be the same throughout the whole piece. It'll be a pickup beat starting every phrase. They don't have to. There's no rule says you got to do that. But I think you'll notice in music, a lot of times playing it, that it's rather consistent with the phrasing. If it starts with a pickup beat, there's a good chance other phrases are going to start with a pickup beat. Doesn't really affect how you play it, just as long as you lift up between the phrases. And then the dynamics, P is piano for soft, whatever you think that is. And then pick up to measure 5, the last note in measure 4, you go up a little bit to mezzo piano, sort of soft. the end of the second line, you come back down. So you can come down very soft there if you want to, or soft, whichever. That helps to shape the phrase. And also, hey, I'm getting done now. Well, okay. Now pick up to measure 9, you go up to moderately loud here. And then pick up to measure 13, you back down to moderately soft like you were at the beginning, but you got a hairpin to go up and back down. Watch out, it doesn't work very well. These matching hairpins, look in the middle. You're somewhere in there. And somewhere in these notes, that's your target. That's your loudest part. That's where you're going to go. So I'm going to gradually get louder there, and then we're going to come back off. How much louder? It doesn't say. I don't know. So moderately soft, a little louder. You come down. So experiment and see if you can feel this. I kind of did it like one measure or one phrase at a time. So I started out moderately soft to pick up to measure 13, and moderately soft. And then the next phrase was a little louder. And now I'm there. And I went back. I went down to soft or moderately soft, but I don't know. How soft do you think it should feel? There's a retardando there too where you can slow down, but I would suggest you only slow down the second time, because it gets tricky when you start slowing down in the middle of a piece and you're playing with other people. Now, if you have a conductor, that works okay because the conductor can keep you together. But otherwise, you two have to know how each are playing and how much each are slowing down, so you're both slowing down the same. Well, in my opinion, it's much easier to do if you just wait till the second time, since it's repeated. Each section is repeated. Don't slow down the first time, wait till the second time and do it. Now, remember the natural accents. Natural accents come even more important, they're always important, but they become even more important when there's a pickup beats. It should be clear to the listener where the first beat of the measure is, and it should be clear to the listener that the first note you played is not beat 1. So the feeling is to hear. Otherwise, the listener thinks it's that one. That's what they're going to hear in their head. So it's important to you to hear. You have to exaggerate the natural accent at first to get it going, get the beat going, and then you can back off if you want. As far as the speed goes, I didn't do speed, did I? Lento is slow. Now, there's several different indications for slow and slower, and super slow, and drag it, and snail pace, or whatever. They're all a range and a feel, and there's no absolute here. What do you feel slow is? Adagio is slow. You got andante is kind of a casual stroll. Adagio is a little slower. Lento slower than that, and then of course there's grave and you go down, but it's just slow. It doesn't work very well on piano because the piano is a percussive instrument, and you play the note, it dies away. Play the note, it dies away. Play the note and dies away. And it just, yuck. It needs to flow, but it can be a slow flow. Just don't go too slow on the flow. Hearing the other part would help, because that can help tie things together. Unfortunately, the other part at the beginning only has quarter notes also. But when the other part starts doing eighth notes, that helps it flow a little better. Helps the overall sound. Let's play this together slowly. About the speed it's going to go, probably. I'm not going to do the dynamics. Just play the notes. We will do the repeats, because each section is repeated, so it's twice as long as it looks. I'll give us 3 counts because we come in on beat 4. 1, ready, go. To repeat. 1. One, two, repeat. One, two, three, off. Now I'd like to do the duet part on page 92, and you can play this top part here. I can't hear you, I can't stay with you, so you're going to have to just try and listen, stay with me, and that gets tricky because now you have to focus on what you're doing, but you got to listen to me and to stay with me. So you're kind of doing both at the same time. And if you happen to mess up or hesitate, tough, we keep going. When you're in an ensemble and you mess up, you keep going, or you mess up the whole thing. Naughty, naughty. So I'll give us 3 counts, and we're actually going to do this about the speed we just did on the Play With Me, because that's about how fast it goes. We are going to do the repeats too. I'm going to try and do the dynamics. It doesn't come out very well in the video, but I'll try. 1, ready, go. Repeat.